Hello and welcome back to another episode of Movies with Us. I'm your host Marcus,
And I'm TJ.
and this is the movie review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning sometimes. And today we're here to review the 2016 release of Doctor Strange. Did I say what episode number this is?
I wasn't paying attention, so probably not
This
128.
Yeah, it's episode 128. That's a lot of episodes. We're doing Doctor Strange, the 2016 release. This movie has a
Hold
good
on,
old.
hold on. We have to reflect on that for a moment here. There's over 100 superhero movies.
Yeah, TJ. You didn't know this? And we didn't know what's up. We didn't cover all of them so far.
Yeah.
We skipped off a big portion of Marvel animated ones and other ones and TV movies. We skipped off, was it Image Comics and other ones?
Yeah.
We only did the main guys, and there's 100 plus episodes. We're not even caught up yet.
Yeah, but you also have to remember the first movie took place in 2008. That's
Yeah.
it's over a decade worth of movies. So
No, yeah, no, it is. It is. It's a long running thing, but this still was an endeavor to getting through.
yes, but
That was not lost upon me when you pitched this idea. Like, that's a lot of shit we gotta watch. 2 hours each.
we watched 3 westerns and then we had our breaks. I think had 4 breaks, so that's 8 other movies.
So 16 plus the 3 is the 19. Yeah, still a lot of superhero movies. TJ. It's like saying, hey, we should watch all Western movies. Like, no, not doing that.
There's probably less western movies.
There's way more Western movies.
I don't know about that. Not
There's way more Western because they're still making Western movies, and there was a time period when they were just making Western movies for the most part. Anyways, this movie, Doctor Strange, released 2016, has a runtime of 115 minutes. That's 2 hours and 54 minutes. That's 2 hours. Wow, an hour 54. God, 2 hours. Yeah. This movie is directed by Scott Derrickson.
wow. I typed in list of.
Derrickson.
I'm sorry. I typed in
Yeah.
list of western movies,
Yeah.
and apparently the first western movies took place in 1894.
Yes, TJ.
How there wasn't even movies in 1894?
TJ. Do you underestimate how much film there is in the world and how long this shit's been going on
Let's
for?
see here. These expedition films are silent shorts.
Yes. One of the first, wow, man, I saw The Great Train Robbery or something like that. I forget if one of the early ones
Well,
was.
the first one listed is Annie Oakley.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot. Anyway, Scott Derrickson directed this movie. This was written by John
We could do all their westerns.
Spottis, I guess. Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill? No way. Hold on. That is him. Holy shit.
There's only 40 western movies released in 1919 alone.
Well, that's fascinating. This movie was produced by Kevin Feige. This movie stars a plethora of people. We have the titular character, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. Chiwetel Ejiofor as some guy, Rachel McAdams as girl lady, and Benedict Wong as Asian dude. These names. Mike Stolberg as Doctor Dude. Benjamin Bratt as Motivational Dude. Scott Atkins as someone?
One of the minions of the bad guy.
Okay. Mads Mikkelsen as the kind of bad guy. Tilda Swinton as the ancient one. And
actually, Benedict Cumberbatch also plays Dormammu.
I saw that. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool.
So, they also had Tony Todd voice voices, an alternate voice for him, but they ended up going with Cumberbatch anyway.
Well, Cumberbatch's got that deep, raspy voice. So,
Chris Hemsworth replaces his role as Thor, and
spoiler.
Linda Louise Duane appears as Tina Mingru. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Mark Anthony Brighton plays Daniel Drum. Don't know who that is. Renzawiro plays Hamir. I mean, does sound familiar. I don't remember who he was though. Zara Hythian, Ala Safi, and Katrina Durden portray more of the Matt Mikkelsen's minions. Pat Kierman appears as himself, apparently.
Who?
He's a Canadian television host, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Stan Lee makes his cameo. And Amy Landecker was the anesthesiologist. That's it.
Nice. I guess behind the scenes, right?
Sure, we can do the behind the scenes. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, might as well get out the
The
way.
first thing we had to
Oh, hold on. This movie was released October 13th, 2016 in Hong Kong and the United States of November 4th, 2016. Okay, yeah. Behind the
did
scenes.
you say how long the movie is?
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing to note is this movie's kind of been in development since 1986.
Shocker.
People have been trying to get it off the ground since then. Some of the names that were originally attached to it, or from like the early 90s, was Wes Craven and David S. Goyer. We know that name. There was also Gamelio. Is that how you say his name?
Guillermo del Toro?
Guillermo del Toro and Neil Gaiman one pitched a version of Doctor Strange in 2007. Their version would have had him like the smart doctors in the 30s.
Let's just say I'm glad they waited until 2016 to properly do this with the visual effects it
I
needed.
don't know. Get Gaiman and Del Toro together would have been interesting.
Yeah. It's a bit too grimdark, though. Like, I feel this is a fine Doctor Strange for the universe.
Doctor Strange is kind of grimdark.
I guess, but like for them to like, there's no MCU at the time when they were pitching this, I guess. But yeah, I don't know.
Apparently, a lot of people wanted to direct this movie. Marvel says that Doctor Strange was the movie that every director wanted to direct for some reason. This was the most sought after script.
It makes sense. You've seen the movie, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like every director wants to put their flavor and their thing onto this, so it makes sense.
Apparently, the director Derrickson had ran a 12-page scene for the film, where they're fighting in the astral plane while the girl doctor tries to save his life. He wrote that scene by itself and presented it to the studio, and it cost Derrickson an obnoxious amount of his own money, apparently, but he felt it was necessary to prove that he wanted the job more than anyone else. So he ultimately had 8 meetings with Marvel, and before he was fired.
Well, before he's hired, I said fired.
No, hired.
I think also it came down to it. I'm looking at his IMDb, his credits for directing. He was relatively not unknown, but a smaller director compared to Del Toro and other. I mean, granted, he's done. Wow, words. He did do big things before this, mostly horror stuff, mostly, yeah. But like, I feel like if they got Del Toro or someone else, it would have been hard to like put like Marvel Studios with Disney, like, hey, do it our vision, do it our way, make sure it fits in this universe. I think it would have been harder for them to do it like that, so they had to pick someone else who had good footing, but not the best footing.
Yeah. Also, the writer John, what was it? Sean Spates.
Let me go back to it. Hold on. Oh yeah, John. Yeah, whoever that name is.
He was hired to rewrite the script. And he started pestering Marvel as soon as the company was searching for a writer. They had a meeting with him. They talked all afternoon apparently, and said they were ready for him. But he received a call from Marvel later saying that they were not completely sure they wanted to take his version of the film, and they were going to look at other writers. But Spates told his agent, "Don't take that for an answer. Call them back, and we'll get back into the room." And he ended up talking for 4 hours until he was given the job.
Jesus, he just wore them down.
Yeah, these guys really wanted this movie.
I'm looking at his credits as well. Like, he did writing credits, like, at least on IMDb, he's got a few before the movie Doctor Strange. And the only one that's, like, a name is Prometheus, that alien prequel movie, which was very bad and stupid. So, I'm surprised they let him write this movie.
Yeah, I mean, they probably got tired of getting pestered.
Probably that. Yeah, it's gotta work people down.
Also, like the creators behind this always envisioned Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, but
really?
they always wanted him. Wow. But he had other commitments at the time. He was doing Sherlock and stuff, so that he couldn't take the role.
That's fair.
So they started looking at other persons. They considered Tom Hardy and Jared Leto for the role.
Oh, God. Every time I hear Jared Leto, my stomach gets upset. I'm like, ugh, that would have sucked.
And by the end of the month, they ended up actually getting into talks with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, my God.
But negotiations with Phoenix ended in October as the actor felt that the blockbuster film would never be fulfilling with too many requirements that went against his instincts for the character.
Artsy bullshit guy.
Yeah, his garbage. Yeah. And then they went back to the drawing board, looked at Leto again, Ethan Hawke, Oscar Isaac, Ewan McGregor, Matthew McConaughey, Jake Gyllenhaal, Colin Farrell, and even Keanu Reeves.
Oh, wow.
Ryan Gosling too. But what ended up happening is like they kept coming back to Cumberbatch. We really want Cumberbatch. So they actually changed the entire production schedule to fit around Cumberbatch's schedule so they can get him to do it. So yeah, they really wanted him, so they got him.
I'm glad because you're fine with this.
I like Benedict Cumberbatch. He's one of my favorites. So he's pretty good in Sherlock. If you haven't seen Sherlock, go watch Sherlock.
Yeah, that's solid.
There was something else before I dive into. Well, okay, there was two kind of controversies. Well, not controversies. One controversy, kind of.
What are you saying?
Controversies.
Are you saying that on purpose, I guess?
How do you say it?
Controversy?
That's what I said.
Say it again?
Controversy.
Stop it, TJ.
Anyway.
Controversies.
Controversy. That's what I said.
You said controversies.
Same thing.
Totally different.
So the first thing I want to note is they changed the setting from in the comic. The origin and stuff took place in the Himalayas and Tibet. I think that's where the Himalayas is, but they changed it to Nepal because they wanted to prevent censorship from the Chinese government.
Okay.
So that was one big thing. And then Cumberbatch was like, yeah, it wasn't necessary to shoot in Nepal and stuff like that because he really wanted to do it and stuff like that. So there's that part of it. The other controversy.
Oh, no. What? Really?
And I'm just going to read this long-ass paragraph word for word. All right? So, obviously, Tilda Swinton is a white woman.
Oh, really?
And in the comics, the ancient one, the character, is a Tibetan man, while the film version is an androgynous Celtic portrayed by Tilda Swinton. Swinton's casting was widely criticized as whitewashing. The director and co-writer wanted to avoid adapting the character portrayed in the comics as they felt that it was perpetuating Asian Fu Manchu stereotypes from that time period, while also aggravating the Tibetan sovereignty debate. Derrickson initially wanted to change the character to an Asian female, but he felt this would either invoke the Dragon Lady stereotype or Asian fetishism, depending on the age of the actress. He also wanted to avoid the stereotype of a Western character coming to Asia to learn about being Asian. So he ultimately decided to cast a non-Asian actor in the role. Swinton was cast because Derrickson felt that she could play the domineering, secretive, ethereal, dynamic, mystical side of the character. Swinton also chose to portray the character as androgynous, although the film uses the pronouns that she and her. Derrickson said he was pleased with the diversity of the film's cast in terms of both gender and ethnicity, but acknowledged that Asians have been whitewashed and stereotyped in American cinema for over a century, and people should be mad or nothing will change. What I did was the lesser of two evils, but still evil, and yet you still did it. Looking back at the casting on May 21st, Feige thought the studio thought they were being so smart and so cutting edge when they avoided the wise Asian man stereotype, but the criticism of casting was a wake-up call that made them realize they could have cast an Asian actor in the role without falling into stereotypes.
Duh. Right? Just duh.
Hindsight, right?
Not even hindsight. Like, yeah, you guys, we could cast an Asian person. Don't make them, a stereotype, you jackass. No, what that problem was? But there was a bunch of white guys in that room thinking about it, overthinking about how to piss off people instead of bringing an Asian person in there and like, oh, just do it this way, assholes.
Yep, exactly.
You're fucking idiots. Like, God damn, trying to reinvent the wheel for no fucking reason.
You're exactly right. That was definitely white man cope.
Yeah, not surprising.
That whole paragraph was ridiculous. That's why I needed to read it.
Because it's like, the fact they're thinking about that, it's totally fine they're thinking about it, but like they said, like, it's a damn if they do, damn if they don't kind of situation. It's just got to handle it very well, and they didn't handle it well at all. Right. Especially because the movie's a guy, it's the white guy coming in, becoming the Great White Hope anyway, so.
Fair enough. Anyway, moving on. That's box office, so skip
now, when watching, did you have a problem with her as is she okay? Well, now I wasn't paying close attention to that, but tell us what herself, does she go by female terms or they thems
in the movie?
In real life,
I don't know. Tilda Swinton's pronouns.
Okay, well, I'm assuming that she right now. So does she, or did you get were you upset with her as the character?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big fan of Doctor Strange in the comics. So I haven't read a lot of his stuff. I did read the story arc based on the director based one of the scenes on in this, and I did read his origin, and it's adapted fine from what it was from the comics. There's no real big difference. It's because people behind this were really big fans of Doctor Strange, so they did what they, they adopted Doctor Strange.
Good.
But the Ancient One is a Tibetan man, so.
Yeah.
But as her is fine, and I'm not really attached to the characters.
Okay.
So I didn't really care one way or another. And besides, she dies in this movie anyway.
Yeah.
So what difference does it make if you're just gonna kill him off anyway? You got the Ancient One in this, and then if he was Asian, they'd be like, you just kill off the Asian guy. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
So it's like we can't win either way. What difference does it make?
No. You can always piss off somebody, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So they should have casted it. In at least an Asian woman, though, I will say that.
Yeah.
But because it was a little distracting to have this white woman in Tibet being in charge of all these colored people, but whatever.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Didn't affect the movie at all.
No, and they did explain it away that she's Celtic, even though she should have had a Celtic accent if they were going to go that route. And make her this ageless being, if she should have that old accenty kind of thing.
Yes.
But
yeah, from pulling the dark energy from forever and being immortal.
Yeah,
she should have some kind of weird dialect.
Exactly.
But it is what it is. But yeah, go back to what you were saying. I'm sorry.
This movie is an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, which leads us into the awards. This movie was nominated for an Oscar.
For Best Visual Effects.
I don't know. It's not listed here, so.
Best Makeup. That is no makeup. Probably Best Visual Effects. I know ain't no best storytelling, I'll tell you that.
For some reason, the Oscars aren't listed in the giant award thing at the bottom. I don't know why. But they did win a few awards.
Visual effects has to be one of them.
It won the Hollywood Film Awards for Hollywood Visual Effects Award.
Wow.
It also won an Annie Award for Outstanding Achievement Animated Effects in a Live Action Production.
Uh-huh.
It also won a Visual Effects Society Award for Outstanding Creative Environment and Photoreal Feature.
Okay.
It also won a Costume Designers Guild Award for Excellence in Fantasy Film. It also won an Empire Award for Best Visual Effects. It won a Saturn Award for Best Comic to Film Motion Picture, Doctor Strange, and Best Support and Actress, Tilda Swinton.
Really?
Yep.
Fair.
And that's it, really.
Really? Okay.
Back to you, Marcus.
That was quicker than I expected. Of all the box office, but not box office, all the behind the scenes gone, let's go to box office. This movie's budget was estimated to be around $165 to $136 million. And this movie grossed a pretty good opening, or good box office, of $677 million.
Made a profit.
Yes, it did. I mean, I'm not surprised. That being said, though, I recall this getting bigger money back, but apparently not.
What?
I recall this movie doing better and getting more money than it did, so I'm surprised it got just this.
I'm not, because the introduction to a new character, essentially.
Yeah, but I remember just being like, people were like, oh, the visuals are cool and stuff. So
yeah,
people...
but the visuals aren't something that just draws in. Well,
Avatar.
I was about to say that's not true.
Yeah,
but
it's a movie. It's a visual medium. And the visuals weren't that great. They were cool, I guess, but like compared to Guardians of the Galaxy, I think I'd rather watch Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, because this was a little too much.
It felt artsy.
Yeah,
it felt like they were trying too hard with the visual effects.
Yes.
Not that it wasn't good. It was fine. It was just like it was doing a lot of surreal imagery.
Yes.
And
yes.
I don't. And like I said, people don't go people don't go to movies for surreal imagery so much as they just go to see something pretty. You know what I mean? And the movie isn't really pretty per se. It's just
it's real.
It's got a lot of quirky things to it, essentially.
That being said, so let's do it. Let's place the movie in the top 20. So let's do 15 through 10, because I don't think we did so many of these already. Number 15, X-Men Apocalypse with $543 million.
We watched that, right?
Yes. Yes, it was
a movie. It was a movie.
I remember we saying it was better than we expected, but the third act kind of killed it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you remember, yeah. At number 14, we have the movie called The Mermaid with $553 million.
I don't know what that is.
Shan, a mermaid, is sent to assassinate Wan, Xuan, Zon Wan, a developer who threatens the ecosystem of her race, but ends up falling in love with him instead. I remember this came out. It was a Japanese movie? Chinese? One of those? Hong Kong, I guess? I don't know where it's from. China, let's say.
They had a lot of money, apparently.
Yeah. 500 made the top 5 or top 15. That's beat out some superhero movies. That's crazy. Number 13 with $634 million. We have a movie called Sing, an animated kids movie that has a lot of sing-along shit to it.
Oh.
Yeah. At number 12, we have another animated movie with $643 million. It's Moana.
Oh, that's The Rock.
Yes. Solid movie. It's pretty good, actually. Catchy songs.
Never saw it.
That's good. With $677 million, we have Doctor Strange at number 11. And at number 10, we have Suicide Squad with $749 million. And of course, number 1 that year was Captain America Civil War with $1.1 billion.
This movie is better than Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's look at that. So we got Doctor Strange, Suicide Squad, Deadpool, Fantastic Beasts, Batman and Superman, Secret Life of Pets, Jungle Book, Zootopia, Finding Dory, Rogue One, Captain America. I think this movie can easily beat out Suicide Squad, not Deadpool. Definitely a Fantastic Beast. That's a Harry Potter prequel. Definitely Batman vs Superman. Secret Life of
Batman
Pets
versus Superman only got as high as it did on its names alone.
Yes. And that's why Doctor Strange did so low, because like I said, it's a first outing for a unknown person. But this movie definitely is better than those other movies. But also, I guess by the time this movie came out, it's the last one in the series, right? Or the year, so fatigue.
I don't know. November is people go see movies in November when there's nothing else to do.
They definitely do. Yeah, I guess it was like a mixed bag of. At least the Marvel stuff was kind of good. It's
just all the. If you look at all Marvel's introduction, a lot of their origins, when it's based on a single character, are kind of like, eh.
Yeah. I guess especially after team up movies.
Yeah, so it's like, it's Doctor Strange. Yeah. Okay, whatever. It's gonna look cool, I guess.
Again, still made money. Still made a lot of money.
Captain America is the one to watch this year. So.
Yeah. Clearly. That's the box office. Let's go back to, I guess, we did all the stuff behind the stuff, seen stuff, right? So, trailers?
I got a couple trailers.
What'd you get?
I got 2 video game trailers for garbage Marvel stuff.
Why are you such a hater?
For garbage mobile, garbage Contest of Champions, and Future Fight. They're probably not even games anymore, so
no, probably not.
And also I got a trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, when's that out? I guess next year, huh?
I guess it would have to be next year.
Yeah, it happens before phase whatever the hell, so that makes sense.
Yeah, next year is gonna be pretty strong.
Damn it. Strong Marvel shit, huh?
Yeah, there's 4 Marvel movies out next year, and they're all, well, you're gonna complain about the one, but they're all pretty strong.
Oh, the dumb Spider-Man movie, huh?
Yeah.
God damn it. Damn it, TJ.
Anyway.
I saw that recently for the first time, and I was like, this is okay.
You were complaining about them and you haven't even saw it?
No, the only one I'm complaining about hard is that dumb third one I'm really upset about.
But you haven't seen it.
Because I can guarantee you it's trash. And I know you're going to go in thinking it's not as good as it was. It's that movie, TJ. I hate that movie. I haven't seen it yet. I just hate that. I hate everything about it.
You have an irrational hatred of that movie.
No, I think I'm going to be verified. Like, all my hatred's going to be like, yeah, I'm right. I knew it.
No.
Just pure dumb shit fan service. Anyway, since that's a trailer, since that's the beginning of all the other shit, let's jump into the movie. I'll watch it, and I will make you watch Avatar.
Whatever.
If that's where we want to start into this?
Huh? No, go.
Okay.
We're done.
Okay. Same universe number, TJ?
Yes, we're 100 movies into this.
So, we start with a good old-fashioned Marvel flip.
It's not the new Marvel logo. I thought it was the new logo.
I think the new one starts around.
It was a new Marvel logo on the one I watched with the DVD I had.
No, this one's new. Yeah.
It's not the flip. It's the.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. It's the M.C.U. I guess.
Yeah, the M.C.U. one where collage. All the scenes within the Marvel thing.
Yeah. I like them both. What do you prefer?
We're fine.
Yeah.
I do like the custom ones better though when it's just focused on.
Yeah. Same.
The character.
Yeah. Like they should save that we just saw for the crossovers, I guess.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, so yeah, we get it's okay. Excuse me. So, the first act is all set up, guys, how this movies work, storytelling, right? So setup is I guess there's like a subsect. That's the word, subsect. Subsect?
Yeah.
I could not say that. There's a subsect in this monastery of monks, wizard people, and they're splitting off. They're becoming bad people. They're just, hey, we're going to do our thing. We're going to take this book, kill some people, and summons a demon lord to destroy this world and do
This bad
things.
guy is so bland.
TJ, all these characters are so bland.
This guy, but like
He's
this
barely
is-
in it. He's just here to do the thing.
It's like this was still a time where Marvel still had no villains. My God,
Nope.
this is so garbage.
And
like,
he's a great actor. He's visually great. He's a good actor. He could have been a great force in this movie, in the movie series.
what's his name? Do you know his name?
I just had the actor is Matt.
No. Do you know the character name?
When I went at the beginning of this one, when I was writing down the character names, I couldn't tell you any other names besides Doctor Strange and the Ancient One. They're just they're all
I know
just
Wong too.
Oh, and Wong, yeah, that's it. Otherwise, they're just there. They do things, but they're just there, and it's sad. Like there's not good character development in this movie. It's a bad writer. So yeah, the bad guy. Would you even call him the bad guy?
I mean,
he's not the big bad guy, but he's a bad guy.
Yeah, but he's the main antagonist because he's summoning the big bad thing.
I guess. So yeah, he's the bad guy who gets the book, tears the page off, goes summon something. We're not gonna see him for the next 30 minutes or so, guys. So 40 minutes, I think, if that. And that sets up his thing. Agent One fights them. She's like, no, I don't take the thing. It doesn't matter. And so now we're actually introduced to Stephen Strange.
Dr. Stephen Strange.
Yeah, Dr. Stephen Strange. And his whole thing is, he's an arrogant, good,
neurosurgeon.
Neurosurgeon. That's what he does? Neurosurgery?
Yep.
Okay. He's very good. He's all about his hands, and he's cocky, and that's his whole character development there in one note thing at the beginning. We get some side characters, his love interest, maybe, fling, mentor, or a mentee thing, whatever she is to him.
She was former lover, apparently.
Former lover. And some other surgeons and shit like that. But he just shows off his skills as a surgeon. They have a thing he does in this where he likes to name musical people and when they release it. I was like, okay, that's a cool kind of, not cool. That's like a thing to him, but they never bring him back in this movie.
No, they don't.
Or the other movies, right?
I don't know. I don't remember about the other movies.
Okay. Yeah, it's like, oh, that could have been something with this character, but that's it. Overall, he's a douchebag. He's kind of diet Iron Man, but not as personable and fun as Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr.
No, I wouldn't think he's diet Iron Man.
Yeah, he's kind of, right? Like witty, like not as witty, not as funny, not as charming, but
no,
cocky.
actually, I didn't get Iron Man so much as I got Sherlock Holmes.
Really?
Yeah.
I got straight Iron Man vibes. Like, oh, they're just trying to.
No, I got Sherlock Holmes because, surgeon figuring out things and stuff like that, and drive to learn and stuff like
Tony
that.
Stark, yeah.
No, Tony Stark already knows everything.
Yeah, he's smart and gets things done. And like, oh, you present a problem to him. He's like, no, just do it this way, do it that way.
Right, whereas Stephen Strange actually searches for answers, whereas Tony Stark is more of a MacGuffin.
Well, see, I got Iron Man vibes at the beginning because he was doing Iron Man shit, but later on when he's reading the books and shit, like I can see the Sherlock vibes, I guess.
Yeah, I got more Sherlock Holmes than I got, and maybe that's because I see him as Sherlock Holmes, but I never got, he never felt like Iron Man to me.
No, he felt like diet Iron Man.
No, well, I never even got diet Iron Man. I didn't even think Iron Man once throughout this entire movie. No.
I was like, man, they're just trying to be Tony Stark over here.
No, I didn't get that because, but to be fair to the writers on this point, Doctor Strange has always been this way, and I actually wonder who came first, Tony Stark or.
No idea. I have no idea. But I'm saying, like MCU wise, that's how I'm judging this.
Yeah, I know, but I just think they're similar in characteristics, honestly.
As Doctor Strange is witty too, because the whole MCU humor shit is getting old already for me in this movie. Because there are some moments, I'm not gonna lie, where it's like very serious and he does like a dumb, not him, but like someone does a witty comment. I was like, man, way to undercut that emotionally good tone of a part of a movie. So while TJ's looking up, so yeah, Doctor Strange, good surgeon. He's going out to do something at nighttime, driving fast, texting. On a phone call, picking out surgeries or something like that, trying to figure. His thing is, I guess, like his thing is, he likes to do the best surgeries, but nothing too challenging that makes him look bad because he wants to keep his reputation up and shit like that. So as he's on a phone call trying to figure out what the next surgery he's going to do, he hits a car, gets distracted, and crashes his vehicle.
Iron Man actually came out, but only by like 3 months. They came out in the same year.
Oh wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah. Huh. They both came out in 1963. Iron Man was March, and Doctor Strange was July.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's
pretty cool. So yeah, car accident. Doctor Strange bust up his hands. He wakes up from his car accident crash and back in the hospital. He's like, "What did you guys do to me? I'm a monster in my hands. What am I now without my hands?" And that's his whole motivation.
You know what else I got from this?
What?
And it's related to Sherlock Holmes, but I also got House, the show House,
Yeah,
MD.
really?
I got that character Gregory House from that. I got a lot of him from this too.
Really?
Yeah, because he had the same kind of thing happen to him, and his something happened with his leg, and they went into surgery without his permission, and that's why he had a limp and stuff.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Like, I could have done better, guys.
Yeah,
That's the
so like,
shit.
and like the arrogance and stuff like that. It all stems from Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, of course.
Well, like I said in the previous episode, Sherlock Holmes was based on the Doctor, and then House was based on Sherlock Holmes, and that So obviously, you got Sherlock Holmes, you add Sherlock Holmes qualities to him.
So the next 10 to 20 minutes is Dr. Strange is trying to figure out, how can I make myself back to what I used to be? Even though he pretty much knows he can't be back to what he used to be. So he does all these methods, all these surgeries and test things, and he's getting better, but not to what he was. So he's in dire situations. He's losing all of his money doing this too. He's going broke because he was a famous, popular doctor, but now he's going broke from all this. So he finds out that there is a place somewhere in the mountains, like TJ said, off on behind the scene wise, that can help cure him. Magical
Nepal.
Mystic monk shit. What's up?
It's in Nepal.
So he's like, let's go there. He goes there, finds out about the Ancient One and her.
Well, no, he hears about some paraplegic being able to walk again.
Yeah. That's,
and
who cares
then
about that?
he directs. Well, it's important for later.
Is it?
Yeah, because I have a diatribe to go on.
Oh, you want to do that now? Or you want to wait till later?
No, I gotta wait to the end.
Okay. So yeah, what TJ said, that happens, and so he goes to Nepal. Finds out there's a monastery who does spiritual, otherworldly shit. He picks up a book, learns some stuff, becomes better, training, the whole typical, I got better myself and all that shit. So he's doing his thing. The bad guy comes back a little bit, starts attacking all these monasteries, one in London, one in New York, and one in Hong Kong, which is weird, but I get it because money. They could have done it in like Africa and other places, but it's got to be these three places. So the bad guy comes back, attacks these places, yada, yada, yada. He fights Doctor Strange.
Think about it.
What's up?
If you think about it, geographically, New York is kind of on the west, Hong Kong's all the way to the east, and London's kind of in the center.
What about the north and the south, though?
It's because they don't need to go all the way from north to south, because if you look at this seals on the Earth, it's just 3 circles around the horizontal axis.
Yeah.
So west, central, east.
It just felt like where they got permission to film at. That's what it felt like to me. Like,
it felt like you put way too much thought into it.
No, it felt like you put way too much thought in trying to defend it. I was listening to this montage.
No, they show us the seals around the Earth, and they're horizontally around the planet.
Yeah, so, but it's like, I don't know.
And it's so the way the seals are stretched around, geographically positioned, and it covers the entire planet. So
barely. My issue was, it just felt like, how the dumb DC movie, I guess, not the Avengers, Justice League, where like they put the Allspark or the MacGuffin bullshit all on the planet instead of just going, hey, here are Green Lanterns, go hide this one over there. Hey, other people, hide this across the universe. No, they're all on Earth. Why? And that was my issue. Like, it just seemed too self-contained.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be self-contained because the seals are meant to keep other entities away from Earth.
Yeah, but you think more the better, right?
I mean, you got 3 giant seals. I mean,
why not 4 seals?
Because you only needed 3.
Oh, but that works so well.
You know how hard it is to find these seals? I mean, it probably was like apparently this seal's been up for thousands of years, and it took thousands of years for one guy who happened to find them.
Not really. He was just part of it, alright. He's like, I'm kind of pissy about this.
And if he wasn't part of it, he wouldn't have known about it. So 3 seemed to be plenty.
Yeah, but he made it. He decapitated everybody easily, but just because everyone, it was so spread thin, just among the 3, because they didn't have enough people in them for some reason. Like, they could up the recruitment numbers or some shit.
My complaint has nothing to do with that. My complaint is, why wasn't he able to destroy the New York Sanctum?
Because it's New York.
No, because they needed it for Doctor Strange to have his hideout.
Yeah.
So that's like, oh, they attacked New York Sanctum 3 times, but they destroyed Hong Kong and
it just pissed me off too. So like, how long is the bad guy's training for? A while, right? And all of a sudden, Doctor Strange gets in and like, He can hold his own while these other people who've been training for a while getting their asses whooped.
See, this is what you're failing to understand.
Main character syndrome.
No, Doctor Strange is meant to be.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is the chosen one. You see, he's supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme. We have to get him to that Sorcerer Supreme moment.
It's and besides, not earned, that's all.
He's also super smart, so he uses his wits to defeat them.
Yeah, so
and he is saved by his cloak.
He is saved by his cloak. He really is. But before that cloak even steps in, he's fighting the bad guy, and the bad guy, who's way more well versed in this, should easily lift his ass.
They kind of did whip his ass, though.
More like should have murked the dude. There's no way that I think Doctor Strange would have fought because he's been training for what, a month, if that.
No, I got it was years.
Years? No way, it was years.
It was years.
Years?
I think it was years.
Nah.
Yeah, because of the way that they showed the montage of him training and stuff.
Not years.
With all the books and stuff he was reading and stuff like that, and all the training he was going through, yeah, it had to be years.
No, I felt like it was just him, 24/7 within a month or two.
No, I took it as years.
Maybe it was. I'm fine with it if it's years, but it does not feel like years.
I mean, I didn't specifically say, but that's what I took from it.
And I'm only guessing.
I'm not saying 10 years, but at least 2.
No, because I feel like his love interest.
Because he said it's been a long time since he last seen her.
Well, maybe in the wiki it says, but I'm not going to search it up. You can look up if you want. I don't care enough. But whatever, some time's passed and he's able to hold his own against the bad guy, which is weird to me. But the fight, the bad guy gets subdued. Exposition's like, hey, I'm here just to summon the bigger bad guy. That's going to happen. And his plan is summon the big bad guy to help freeze time. Have the big bad guy consume the planet to freeze time or something. And reasons, I don't recall. It's convoluted. Doesn't matter. The good guys win the end. So it does not matter. So, bad guy somehow escapes. Doctor Strange has to go get help from his girl because he gets stabbed. She revives him. Another cool sequence. Then we get to the third act because Doctor Strange recruits some of the surviving monks. They all fight the bad guys again in these visually cool sort of pieces. Oh, the Ancient One dies along the way because she's the Ancient One. She's got to die. Which we find out that, hey, she draws power from the bad side, which makes the black Shredderful Edge of Force character be like, no, I thought you were supposed to be just good. So he breaks away after helping. So he doesn't break away yet. He stays with Doctor Strange. They all fight the bad guys. Doctor Strange somehow convinces the big bad evil guy to a bargain after tricking him into a bargain.
There is no definitive answer.
Okay.
But some people say there's evidence that is between 3 to 6 months, and then some people say at most 3.5 years.
See? It's all over the place. That's funny.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't feel like 3 years. I can see how you can argue why it could, but it just didn't feel like it. That's all.
I took it as years, not months. But if you don't give an answer, these are the kind of things that come up.
Yep. And you could have just said on the screen 3 years later.
Yeah.
I would have bought it. Like, okay, that makes sense. He dedicated some time to it, not 3 months. Well, anyways, like I just said all that. They jump to the third act. They all fight the bad guys. They beat the bad guys. Doctor Strange tricks the big bad evil guy to a bargain.
Oh, we're already at the end.
There's not much that happens to this movie when we really break it down. They go from one cool set piece to another cool set piece.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't paying attention to anything you said because I was looking.
No, I know. But it's like, hey, this happens, then that happens.
Like, did you talk about the time stone and stuff?
What time stone? Oh, they reveal. Oh, that's at the end. They reveal that his pendant is the time stone. One of the
Yeah, so he's been using time.
What's it called? One of the Infinity Stones.
Infinity Stones. Yeah. He uses the time stone to reset time.
Yeah.
And then he does. It's a pretty creative way to get rid of a bad guy.
Yeah, he just loops him into a
time loop. Yeah,
and the bad guy doesn't like it. It's like, okay, how do I get out of this? And they bargain. The bad guy takes the bad guys with him.
Doctor Strange sacrifices himself over and over. It's actually a pretty cool ending.
It is,
considering. Yeah. So.
It's clever. He's a smart dude. Shows that he's really smart and clever.
Yeah, and that's why he's, for all Iron Man stuff, he usually brute forces his way out of things.
Yes.
So
Doctor Strange is more
a brainy kind of guy.
Yes. But that's the movie. Like I can't go into. I'm not going to go into detail because
that's not the movie because he says he deals his way out, and then the day is saved. Now it's the movie, and now he's the Sorcerer Supreme. I think.
Yes.
Well, they say at the end that once now that they know there's no Sorcerer Supreme, there more people are going to come.
Just set up. It's this movie just set up.
Wong says that because the black guy in the movie, who was
Yeah,
one
I
of the
said that already.
disciples. Yeah, he
Goes rogue.
Mordo. He goes rogue. Yeah, he leaves essentially.
He goes rogue into the second end title sequence. But the first end title sequence is post-credit sequence.
It's a scene from Thor Ragnarok.
Is there a Ragnarok?
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. Thor's talking to Doctor Strange about how to find Loki.
No.
The father. I'm sorry, the father.
Odin. Yep. So yeah, that's all that is. Yeah, it's just a scene from Thor Ragnarok. That movie's coming soon.
Can't
Pretty
wait.
much that's what they were saying.
And then the last end credit sequence is MODOK. What's his name?
Mordo.
He goes around and siphons the magical energy from the paraplegic because he wants less sorcerers.
No more sorcerers is the problem with the world. Here's my problem.
Okay, what's your problem?
This never comes back.
Nope.
To this day, it has not been in another movie. This character has only been in one other movie, and it was an alternate version of him.
Yeah.
Where is the storyline? What was the point of this? Why is this end credit scene here if we're not following up on it on anything?
That's your problem, TJ, with this?
Well, yeah, because all the other end credit scenes...
No, not all of them.
Pretty much led into other movies. Like, they got tied up in other movies. If you're putting an end credit scene in, it leads to the next plot point.
Ideal.
So this is here to say, okay, we're gonna have this guy hunting down sorcerers or some shit like that, right? Where is he? What's happened? Why is this story just dropped?
He could still be doing it for all we know.
It's
just I don't think it's bad. His storyline is so tiny and relatively to Thanos. Like, maybe he's still doing his bullshit and it's still not on the radar of Doctor Strange. Or maybe Doctor Strange still tracking him. It's just that other things happened in the universe.
It's been almost a decade.
It has been a decade, but how many sorcerers are out there?
But here's my point. Probably a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's my point. If they do decide to bring this storyline back now, who's gonna remember this?
Us, a select few people who are waiting.
I didn't remember it. I didn't remember it until I resaw it.
I remembered it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember him. Like when I saw the character, like, oh yeah, he's doing something out there. I forgot he went bad and did things.
When that end credit scene came up, I was like, wait a minute. And then I looked up to see if it ever came back in any other movie, and it didn't. It didn't show up in anything. It couldn't show up in like the Eternals or
It still could. TJ, with the state of the MCU right now as it is, which is pretty trash, they can pop this guy up anywhere and like, there he is. He was doing stuff the whole time. Don't worry. Like,
maybe
I'm not worried at all about it. I've seen other like post credits go nowhere, so usually on the DC side, but.
All the Marvel post-credit scenes have always turned into something else. We've talked about all of them so far, and every one of them has come back. Because we always talk about how this leads into this, and this leads to that.
I guess. I mean, again, it might show up later. Who knows? I don't think they're completely gone with them, so.
I think they forgot about them.
No, they didn't forget about them. They just don't know what to do with it. That's all. There's been only one Doctor Strange sequel as of this recording, and that was the bullshit Wakanda
we're getting a freaking Echo TV show. You know who Echo is?
Don't care.
Exactly. You're getting an Echo TV show. He couldn't just roll some kind of storyline into this?
They might.
Somewhere to one of the TV shows?
They might. There was so much they were focusing on. This character has only been in the Doctor Strange movie, and the second Doctor Strange movie was the Wanda bullshit. So, Yeah.
Oh, and that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. So, the car accident back in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
For some reason, I remember the love interest being in the car with him.
No.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that from.
Some other movie probably.
Maybe it was one of the newer movies.
Maybe. Couldn't tell you.
Because I thought for sure, like, she dies in that car accident. Like, what? I guess not, though, because it didn't happen in this movie.
No, not at all. You okay, TJ?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. But yeah, that's Doctor Strange.
I guess we should probably talk about the visual effects at least somewhat.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I didn't go beat by beat because most of this is just like showing off. Hey, isn't it wacky we're doing these visual effects things in this world because we're not used to it yet in this series? Like, okay, it's wacky. They're pretty. They're cool. They're trippy, I guess.
So what's that other movie that had all the trippy effects before this movie?
Inception?
Came out? Inception, right? I never saw it. I never saw that movie. But is it like on the level of that?
Not at all. There's like one sequence where like the city they're in kind of bends in on itself. Other than that, it's nothing like this.
Oh, okay, so this was better than that.
Visually, yes.
Okay. Because that's what I first thought of was like the Inception movie, but I never seen it, so I don't know how much of that stuff's in it.
Oh, I got a gripe with this movie. So like they're all from the same monastery, right?
Yes.
For the most part, and like they all learn how to do that circle bullshit to get out of from teleportation thing, right?
Yes.
the big thing they do in this movie to like instead of killing people because it's PG-13, they'll knock some people out here and there, but they'll usually trap someone somewhere else. Can't they just like teleport themselves back to where they were?
Well, one, Doctor Strange does kill somebody in this, but he kills them in the astral plane, so it doesn't show it on screen. But he does kill somebody.
He's upset about that.
And you need that brass knuckle thing in order to cast that
Yeah,
spell.
but like most of them have it.
No, I mean not all. They don't really have it.
You sure about that?
Yeah, because specifically Doctor Strange takes the bad guy, so he couldn't.
All the bad guys, or just one of the bad guys?
The main bad guy.
Okay.
And I think only the main bad guy had one because I think they belonged to the monastery, and I think when he only had his when they left.
Okay, if that's the case, I'm cool with that.
Because the one big guy does get back through a portal because he had to steal Doctor Strange's.
Okay, that's a valid excuse if that's what the case is.
Yeah, I think that's how it was supposed to play out.
Okay, good. Other than that, the visual effects are fine. It's a pretty movie. So. Fight scenes are solid.
Watching it the second time around, I wasn't as impressed though.
No.
I was like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah. I think it's because like it's just going nowhere. I guess like it's like cool you're doing that, but the characters aren't deep. Don't care about these characters that much. Don't know their names, and know how it's going to end. Essentially, it's the good guys will win like always.
All right, is that it?
All right, we gotta rate this.
All right, that's right.
Yeah, we can rate it, TJ.
It's not a bad movie. I'd say it's a 6.
A 6?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would give it a 6 as well. I guess 7's too high.
It's not a fantastic movie, and
No.
I think a 7 is on the verge of being great.
Yeah.
And then this one's it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's above average movie.
Oh, okay. So is it 6 standalone wise, or is it good overall for the story, more movie wise? Marvel MCU.
What was the question?
I think we're rating the MCU as standalone versus MCU wise.
Oh, I don't think this. Well,
I think as a standalone, it's a 7.
No, I think it's a 6 standalone. Yeah. I think it's a 6 MCU wise too, but because it doesn't really add a lot other than the fact that it allows the supernatural stuff to really come into the MCU.
Yeah.
So it also like brings magic and all the mystical stuff into the world, so we can start toying with all that. So it's fine. It doesn't really affect the overall MCU.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna give that a 5. Honestly, it's just there.
Except now Doctor Strange is going to be in everything from now on,
which is cool.
So like that is a big addition to it.
Yeah, especially because he's like the big part of the Endgame,
Marvel,
Infinity
War.
War.
He's a part of. I don't think he's in Endgame because he dies in Infinity War.
He brings them all back in the big scene, I guess.
Yeah, but he's not in most of Endgame.
Yeah, but he brings out to the cool scene, so he's the big part of the movie. Damn it, TJ.
Okay.
If it wasn't for him, there would be that cool scene.
Right. I mean, he's the reason why they were able to
assemble.
Well, save the world anyway, because he saw the one possibility.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a key piece, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. So I mean, he's a big part of. He's always been a big part of the MCU and Marvel in general. So
I feel they don't use him enough, though.
It's because he hasn't had enough movies yet. He hasn't been focused on enough yet.
Why not? Because you think like this, like especially nowadays, that they're trying to do all the fucking stupid multiverse bullshit. Like this is the guy you want to focus on now.
Here's the big difference between Doctor Strange and the other ones. Like, take Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, their first movie was in 2014, and their next one was 2017. It's been 3 years apart. And a lot of the movies are like that. Like Captain America. Let's look at the first Captain America, 2011.
Yeah.
The second one was in 2014. So that's 3 years apart. Doctor Strange, its first movie was 2016. Its second movie wasn't into 2022, which is 7 years later.
That's a long time,
6 years later. So it's been they're so staggered apart in Doctor Strange stuff that it's really hard to remember. That's probably why they didn't follow up on that one storyline, because it's been so far removed from the last movie.
Yeah, but like I don't like they could like if they're going to do shows, put a show for him. If they're going to do movies, they can put more movies of this guy out there, or just popping into movies because he has that teleportation bullshit. Hey, Spider-Man, I'm here now. I'm gonna help you. Or hey, Hulk,
well,
get back and pay me or some shit.
It was a big part of the last Spider-Man movie.
Which one?
The one you hate.
Okay.
He was a big part of that one. I will say that.
That's good.
He was. I'm just looking through. I didn't see a lot. He wasn't in Black Panther. He wasn't in Thor. He was a big part in No Way Home. He wasn't. I hadn't seen those three, so I can't say that. Far From Home. He was Endgame and Infinity War. He's a big part of. Yeah, so Spider-Man was the last big one he was part of. So
Okay.
unless he was in the Marvels or Ant-Man or Black Panther or Thor or Black. No, it's all Black. Unless he's in Ant-Man, Guardians, or the Marvels, I don't know.
Okay. So I just feel like he should be definitely a character who has more footing, especially now that Tony's dead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that is.
Wait, TJ, we're rambling. So, movie was okay. What else? Is that it?
Fine, Marcus. Now that we did it, it's done. Okay.
Now that we did it, it's done.